Yep, I noticed I made some, I didn't mention some things in the beginning of this video. Um, This is our debrief on this, me teaching standard one.
Okay.
So,
So, all right. So a couple things that I see about this. The
Mhm.
video concentrated mostly on you teaching the history of a camera for like 3 minutes, but all of your learner development
Mhm.
and guiding questions
Mhm.
allude to them, to you knowing their growth and their cognitive levels, but you're not really, you can't really test that based on that video. So I'm trying to figure out if this is the overarching at the end of the full unit versus what do you want to look at right now with that video?
I think because of the lesson plan, it's just talking about probably, is this included in that? But I know it's hard to see everything that's on this
Well, I
teacher
can't
standard.
see any of it because I don't know I don't know where they're at. This is all talking about the students grow and develop, recognizing the patterns, cognitive, linguistic, social development. Does the student's knowledge about knowing the student's knowledge and growth development? So that I wouldn't be able to get any of those answers from that video. That video I can just literally look at mainly your introduction to the history of the camera, how you facilitated the intro to how to use the camera, but I wouldn't even be able to look at, are they using the camera and techniques correctly?
Yeah, not in that lesson.
Yeah. So I guess with that video, is it a good introduction? Yeah, because you went through like cameras in the old days, cameras in the new days. They're in general essential question that they're going to answer at the end. And then with the, I guess more so, what did you notice that they produced after you gave them the assignments?
Well,
Were they producing the information to lead them to answering an essential question? I guess
that's exactly what
this
happened.
question. Okay.
So the resources led them, when they do the resources and the exercises, it led them to do to have more precise answer to that essential question. It actually drove them towards searching and towards learning. That's the way I viewed it. So in the end, when we come back together at the end of a 50-minute class period, then I go back to revisit the question and ask them, and then I get a better, precise answer, not only verbally, but it's also written on paper for them. They write it on paper. And they also do the exercises that help them to remember and learn what is being taught. So, you may not have seen too much on that, the first part, because I also had a problem with this one. How do you check? I think this related to COG skill, teaching standard one. You have to know where they are in order to meet them and help them grow. So I figured that I had a general census of the students based on experience with them to at least meet them somewhere where they can understand what I'm trying to teach them. That's all I could do. And then when they lead up to the next assignments and objectives, and then before they get to the project and the assessments, those are just proving that they know that they're putting their skills to use, especially in the project. That would allow me to know if they really understood what was going on, and especially also if they passed the assessments as well. So that's one way I could have an idea that they knew from this summative assessment and the project that they produced after this within that unit, at the end of this unit. So this is only a lesson plan, part of the entire unit. That's all.
So when they were looking at the final product or what you wanted them to do, which label, draw the picture, and label the camera, were you able to then get information on if are they, recognizing the patterns and not understanding the knowledge about the camera, I guess.
But that exercise helped them to understand the knowledge of the camera, the different components. And having them to draw, I feel that helps them remember certain components of the camera. Whether they knew how to draw or not, they still was exposed to the various parts.
Now, all those things that you told them to do, were they able to produce those things in one class period?
They were. Those were just reading and answering questions relating to the resource and also draw. And some students needed longer time.
Gotcha.
So they needed another day.
Okay, so a good extension to your video would be to continue to video them after, like, maybe pause and then start it again once they're already like answering questions, or pause it and start it again once they're already completed with the drawing. So that, and then after they're done with the drawing, then go back to revisit those essential questions or higher order questions to see if they really are growing and developing and recognizing those patterns, so that you really know if you are hitting the standard of learner development.
Yes, that's one thing I didn't show in the video was the last 5 minutes of class. When you ask the question, revisit the question again. So that's the only thing.
Revisit the questions, the essential questions, with them actually having already produced something. Because right now, the only thing I really saw in the video was you introducing the material. So that is not really a way that I would be able to know if their learning has developed. But maybe revisiting, or even going back like the next day, taking another video of now revisiting their final product with those questions.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind for the next standard video. Next standard that is going to be video. So
Okay, perfect.
thank you for that. So this one, you just want the students to be seen a little more, interacting.
Yeah, because right now, well, only because this standard is based on learner development. This one, I mean, are we talking specifically on this one, or are we talking about a different standard?
Specifically
This one, yeah. So this standard, I can't see their development based on your video, because your video is just you talking about the history of a camera and then what they have to do to produce that.
So what kind of development would you see?
I would like to see them, their outcomes, like after their pictures, you know, and then I would like to see you go through those essential questions that you said you have to have them answer. It's still recording.